We're honoring everything that happened at Covenant. I'm a Covenant mom of a now fourth grader. She lost 3 of her friends on March 27th, and we lost 3 of our beloved staff members. And so today is a really heavy day.
That was Covenant School mom Mary Joyce gathered with other members of the community 1 year after the tragic gun massacre took place at the Covenant School, a private Christian school in Nashville. That day, an armed intruder shot through the school's glass door entrances, which were locked, and proceeded to go throughout the school, where they murdered 3 children and 3 school staffers. Nashville police showed up within minutes to the scene, and in 14 minutes, according to police reports, took the shooter out. The entire exchange was recorded on police body-worn cameras. I watched the entire video from the minute that the cops exited their vehicles to running in to the school, clearing rooms. Like, my heart was just racing, just extremely brave men. And I don't know if there were any women officers there, but all of them just running straight into the danger zone. And I applaud them, because we know that does not happen in every other instance when police officers show up. No more horrific example of that was in Uvalde, Texas, where there were 300-400 cops that day, and all those children and their teachers died as the cops stood around. So not the case here. But we shouldn't even have these situations to begin with. This is the gun hell that we live in America, and people have had enough of it, especially in Tennessee. Listen to this.
Blood on your hands! Blood on your hands! Blood on your hands! Blood on...
Those were the people's shouts landing on the deaf ears of the Tennessee Republican House supermajority in Nashville the other day. And by the way, they have that supermajority because they've cheated the people of Tennessee out of being accurately represented. And that's down to gerrymandering and all the dirty tricks that Republicans, for the most part, pull. But I digress. These people showed up after the Republican House majority passed a bill to arm teachers with handguns in the classroom, as if teachers don't have enough on their hands. Just watching that police video showed me how incredibly important it is to have people who are well trained. I mean, these police were running in with long guns after one shooter.
Absolutely not. You put teachers in that sort of a situation. We know in a gun battle with trained police officers, they only shoot with 18% accuracy. Imagine a teacher with far less training in a shoot back and forth situation when there are kids everywhere. When you miss, it's a child that could be killed.
And now the Republicans' idea in Tennessee of making the classroom safer is by arming teachers who are tasked to teach our kids and to keep them safe in an environment like that. That's just insanity. Anyway, that's why so many people were outraged by it. Well, the video that I showed there was filmed by Democratic House Representative Justin Jones, who is one of the members of the Tennessee Three. And listen to him explain what went down that day.
For today, a horrible day here at the Tennessee House. My Republican colleagues forced through a bill to arm teachers, even as the gallery is full of teachers and students and parents and clergy, begging them not to pass this law. And as they pushed it through by cutting off debate, not even allowing me to speak on the bill, many members to speak on the bill, the gallery started to chant, and the speaker ordered the gallery cleared of the public and media. I tried to record my constituents being, escorted out by troopers, and for that I was found under Rule 19 to be out of order by the speaker and my Republican colleagues, and that means that for the next 2 days I won't be able to speak at all on the House floor. Even though other Republican members were also video recording, and in fact a Republican colleague, Representative Chris Todd, came and physically shoved me. That was all by, this was seen by staff and other members who tried to get the attention of the speaker to rule him out of order. They refused to and laughed it off. This is what it looks like to work with people who are drunk with power. This is what fascism looks like, and it's a sad day for Tennessee.
That's right. Not only did the Republicans pass a bill that nobody wants, including the teachers, they silenced Jones again for representing his constituents. The Tennessee Three, by the way, includes Gloria Johnson, Justin Pearson, and Justin Jones. They're all three Democrats. Pearson and Jones are both black men, and they were expelled from the state house last year for standing up in protest about the gun violence in Tennessee, and they were expelled, led by Klan leader, Republican Speaker of the House, Cameron Sexton. And if you don't know who he is, he's almost a caricature of a villain running a plantation, like just a really vile human being. And after Pearson and Jones were both reelected to their respective seats after they'd been expelled, the GOP House made up a new rule to prevent them from getting reelected the next time they're expelled for trying to participate in what was once a democracy. Well, after this latest round, the House Republicans punished Representative Jones for filming the outrage, by the way, in the people's house, in the public house that is supposed to be the house of the people. They silenced him for 2 days for just filming that video footage. Meanwhile, a white legislator by the name of, I believe, Jerome Moon, you should see him on your screen there in the lower right, was not silenced for filming the exact same chaos.
We all know the reason. We have two separate sets of rules, one for black lawmakers and one for white lawmakers. Now we have a speaker who's drunk with power, and time again, every week we've been here, he's shown us that. There's something more powerful than the speaker's gavel, and that's the power of the people. And you saw that yesterday. They were terrified of it, and they're going to continue to try and keep the people out of the people's house. But this is not his private palace. This is the people's house, and that's what we saw yesterday. All right, see ya.
Parents, teachers, kids, clergy, doctors, and citizens have repeatedly asked the House GOP majority to pass stronger gun laws after the gun massacre at the Covenant School. But their pleas remain unanswered. The Republican Party lines their pockets with millions of dollars from the gun industry. So people's lives are literally just the cost of doing business to them. They don't care. It's like, hundreds of thousands of Americans have to die every year so that we can get political donations and get rich from the gun lobby. That's fine by us. It's truly disgusting. And it's also, by the way, not pro-life at all. Take a look at this clip of Tennessee state troopers dragging out peaceful protesters, mostly consisting of moms who want their children to be safer at school. Here's Linda McFadden Ketchum, a member of Moms Demand Action, which is a terrific anti-gun violence group, who along with thousands of others came to protest the Republicans' pro-gun manufacturers' bills. And as you can see, she was dragged out. In addition to the arming school teachers bill, the Republicans also decided to lower the age to open carry semi-automatic rifles to 18, which is what the shooter in the Covenant School used. They used a semi-automatic rifle. As is the weapon of choice at America's mass shootings. Now, I know I know the nation as a whole is paying attention, or I think, I know at least on the MeidasTouch network, are paying very close attention to Trump's trial. And yes, that's important. But I've been paying really close attention to what's happening in Tennessee. And it is operating as an openly white supremacist autocracy. And I am not using those words lightly. They are running a plantation mentality down there, flouting democratic laws and punishing women and people of color for dissenting, for standing up for their own rights. Listen to this sound of Republican representative in the Tennessee House, John Reagan, cutting Representative Jones' mic off as Jones was dissenting against the GOP's lack of solutions to gun violence.
You're recognized to respond to the question, sir.
I didn't get to finish the question.
Please finish your question.
And so you're saying that, this is reactive. At what point do we get proactive to addressing these crises instead of continually trying to create Band-Aids for something that needs a
Representative
deeper...
Jones, please on the bill.
This is about the bill. This is about the bill.
Sir, this bill is about a response system.
This is about the bill. Thank you. And so at what point are we going to get proactive? And do we have ideas that we can work in tandem with this button? Because
Representative Jones.
I don't yield to you. And so the question...
Thank you,
I did
Mr.
not yield.
Chairman.
I did not yield my time.
Sir, you don't get to yield your time. If you want me to rule you out of order, I will. That'll have consequences.
Sir, you have a gavel. You don't have a whip.
You're out of order, sir.
I mean, Reagan sounds like he is straight off the plantation with his tenor. And I love what Justin Jones said right back to him. He just smacked it back. And this is how the Tennessee Republicans operate all the time. By the way, I want to give a shout out to the Tennessee Holler. If you want to know more information about what is happening in Tennessee, please follow the Tennessee Holler. I love their moniker is always yell the truth. Yes, thank you for yelling the truth, Tennessee Holler. They expose a lot of the corruption there. But you know why what is happening in Tennessee should specifically matter to all of us, no matter where we live? Because it's exactly the test grounds for fascism. And it is exactly what America is going to look like if Republicans grab power back this November. And it is why every race, not just the presidency, matters. We are going backwards to the Jim Crow South and back to a time when women were property. And here's what else the Tennessee Republicans have been up to. They are fully committed to their cosplay of autocracy, except for it's really actually not cosplay. Listen to this.
Just last week, neo-Nazis marched down the streets of Nashville in broad daylight, carrying flags with swastikas. While those modern-day Hitler fans were marching in the streets, Tennessee House Republicans were passing laws that banned different flags. On Monday, they approved a bill that would ban ideological flags in schools, including pride flags and Black Lives Matter flags. It will not surprise you that the bill does not, I repeat, does not explicitly prohibit the display of the Nazi or the Confederate flag in schools, because there's nothing wrong with those. Republicans have also advanced a bill that would make street protests a felony. Democrats pointed out that such a law would have prevented John Lewis and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from marching across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has also signed a law that allows public officials to refuse to perform same-sex marriages if it goes against their beliefs. While Republicans are clearly targeting same-sex couples, the law opens the door to people refusing to marry people for a whole host of reasons, including race, religion, and national origin. Joining me now is Tennessee State Representative Justin Jones. Representative Jones, what in the hell is going on in your state?
Well, Joy, the former Confederacy continues to be a birthplace of bad ideas.
Clearly.
And the terrifying thing is that this is where they're testing out these ideas before they nationalize them, that these ideas are being waged, the battles are being waged on the front lines of our state houses, but they're going to be nationalized if we don't stop them at their root, which is in states like Tennessee and Alabama and Texas and Mississippi. Yeah. These are the front lines where we have to fight for democracy.
Jones is exactly right. These are the front lines of democracy. And it's what we're seeing in other states like Arizona right now, as there's this battle over women's rights being rolled back to pre-Civil War era. I mean, what? After a saturation of the Trump news cycle for the last 8+ years, I really don't think that any voters should be confused about what kind of man Donald Trump is and what they will get, except for it will be much, much worse the second time around. That's not the big mystery here. People have made up their minds about who they're going to vote for. My concern is that apathy, burnout, and the couch may be our biggest enemies in November, that people will just stay home. I don't know. Is Joe Biden doing enough for us? Or Donald Trump is whatever, a weird freak, but you can't do that. I'm asking you nicely, please don't. The couch could be our biggest enemy of all. And Republicans are counting on that. They know they're not the majority. They never win the popular vote. So they figure if they can just get us to burn out and not care and stay home, that's how they will retain or regain power. Gun violence is the -- cause for children's deaths in America. It is the #1 reason or way that school children in America are killed. And at some point, every single one of us will be personally touched by this bloodthirsty epidemic. I'm a gun violence survivor. I've obviously covered a lot of gun violence situations in my years as a reporter. I lost 2 colleagues to gun violence. Allison Parker and Adam Ward of WDBJ, they worked at the competing station in the market I was at the time. And only in America can you watch 2 people you know and work next to get gunned down on live TV and then have to go out and cover it all in the same day. I mean, I just heard myself say that sentence. That is insanity. Like, this is nuts. This is crazy. This is not pro-life. I do not want to live like this anymore. The majority of Americans do not want to live like this anymore. And the good news is we don't have to. But we all have to take action. And like Justin Jones and Pearson and so many others, we have to make our voices heard. We can't fold in the face of autocracy. I'm so passionate about this subject. I know I like nerd out about it, but it's really important because Hitler did not come to power. The Third Reich did not come to power overnight. Over time, apathy and people who just didn't think that their dissent mattered turned away, and look what happened. So I don't want that to happen here, and I know it won't if the Meidas Mighty and everyone else shares these videos, likes, comments, and make sure that we are energized and standing up for our democracy. My name is Suri Crowe, and you are watching or listening to the MeidasTouch Network, where we speak the truth. The truth is golden. We're telling it like it is. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope to see you back here very, very soon, and I wish you peace.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.